All right, hi everybody, Ryan here again. So I'm going to try this again for the third time at my house. Unfortunately, I was up in Macedonia delivering a load earlier, and was made an attempt at this video on my phone with our sound system and all that, and I didn't like the sound quality, so I redid it. And then I got back home and had my wife put it on the computer and all that to get ready to upload it, and it was still bad. So I evidently have a issue with the wire on our or USB cable for our sound thing here. And I like to have good sound quality for your viewing pleasure and all that. So we like to put out the best that we can. So we decided to redo this again. So hopefully I hit all the talking points that I did originally. Anyway, so I've been doing a lot of short stuff lately. I haven't been able to do as many videos on the road as I typically have in the past with the long haul stuff. With the short haul stuff here, just been kind of running Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, a little bit of PA, and I guess that's pretty much it for the most part. So I've been kind of lucky too with my a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff's been dropping hook, and the live load stuff I've been loaded really quick. I mean, a lot of it it's just been enough. The time that it's taken me to get loaded or unloaded has been just like enough time to grab something to eat real quick, and unfortunately I don't get to do a video. So I've been doing a lot of loads out of Middlefield, which is not too far from my house. That's been ever since I've been at Landstar. The Craft Made Cabinets is up there. It's been kind of a customer that I've worked with a lot. They got drop and hook loads out of there, cabinets, light loads. They got a run or a lane from Middlefield to Indianapolis, drop and hook both ends, and they're up to like 530 a mile right now. So yeah, pretty good loads out of there right now. So those are paying like almost $1,900 on 320 miles, and it's right up the road from my house. Indianapolis is a pretty good area to find freight coming back up to Northeast Ohio. So I've been doing like these day run things. I'll go pick up the load in the morning, basically like on a Wednesday morning, for a Thursday morning delivery, like an 8 a.m. Drop there an appointment by drop and hook. And it's paying, like I said, almost $1,900 for that. Then I'll usually find something back up here for like $1,100-1,200 gross. And for basically 1 day, 1.5 day of work, I mean, it puts me like direct deposit after all expenses, almost $1,400. So not bad if you can do a couple of those a week. But anyways, next week, I got to do my taxes this weekend. I'm kind of pushing the limits here because I've got a whole banker's box full of receipts for truck stuff, farm stuff, and everything else. And I wait to the last minute to do it because I don't want to do it. So I'm going to have to like lock myself in a room somewhere and go through all the receipts and separate all that. But we wanted to do a video kind of like, would you go to Landstar 2021 or would you get an owner-operator trucking? But I want to have all that data and everything from our year last year, plus some settlement statements from the short haul stuff I've been doing, and also like from the longer haul stuff, so I can get it, you guys that might be looking to come in at Landstar or going to owner operator in general can kind of get a good picture like what last year looked like, even with the crappy pandemic stuff. Even in the beginning of the year, like end of April and kind of beginning of May was kind of dead, but then it's kind of exponentially it's picked up ever since then to kind of the point where we're at now with the higher rates, especially in my area, which for those of you who don't know, like Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, that this whole area up here where we're at, this kind of Great Lakes, Midwest region is probably one of the best areas in the country for freight. But anyways, I keep going away from the point I want to talk about. Higher rates right now, I don't think it's so much supply-demand driven. I mean, there's a lot of trucks on the road. I mean, the truck stops are always full. So it doesn't really seem like there's a shortage of trucks. And if you guys are on YouTube a lot, which if you're watching this, you probably are, there's been a lot of videos and talk out there about inflation and hyperinflation. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and how possibly being a owner operator in the spot market or working on a percentage can kind of protect you from that, in the future if things kind of get crazier. So if you don't know what inflation is, that's when your money's not worth as much anymore. It doesn't have as much buying power. So basically, like, okay, today you can go buy this product for $5. Now tomorrow it costs $10. But your wage, if you're working for $20 an hour or something, or you're working for 50 cents a mile as a company driver, or you're an owner-operator contracted for $1.20 plus surcharge, obviously they're probably, as prices go up, they're your employer or whoever you're leased to, if you're in one of those deals, they might not be so apt to raise that rate that quickly. So we've been seeing this run up on rates and, on freight rates. And if you don't know, I mean, truck freight logistics, it is a commodity. Basically, it's not a physical commodity, but it is a commodity. There is, like, if you go on the DAT boards or a DAT website, they do track spot rates for flatbed, dry van, reefer, and all that. And it is, it's tracked. There is like a market rate basically, or an average rate, and that's kind of what some of the bigger brokerages and stuff go off of, is that spot rate. And then they, some places they'll bid below spot or over spot or whatever. And we've noticed with a lot of other commodities out there like corn, soybeans, metals, copper, steel, and all that, those rates have went up quite a bit in the last year. Some as much as like with lumber, we've seen that go up like 400%. If you're doing a project or something, that people have been talking about this on YouTube and other places as well. Like now, I remember we do a lot of projects around here, and we used to get like the Econo stud 2x4s for like $2.70 or something. Now they're like at $7 or $8. I think even like the premium, the better ones are like at $9. And there's been a lot of talk about that. Like there's some bug up in British Columbia, and I don't really buy that because a lot of the lumber here in America, I mean, it comes southern yellow pine and whatnot. That stuff comes out of Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and whatnot. Down south, there's a lot of timber down there. If you've ever been down there, so I can't see how one province in Canada can basically quadruple the prices for lumber. So the only thing it makes, if you look at everything else, if you look at kind of food prices and all that, if you've been to the grocery store lately, like my wife and I usually, she's from China, so we kind of eat separate meals usually because I'm not a big fan of Chinese food. But like I'll just go buy stuff, for myself for like a week, and excluding beer, I mean, I'm like grab a little bit of meat or something and some vegetables and whatnot in here in the wintertime, and it's like $90, so just for a small amount of stuff. So prices are definitely going up, and the wages definitely aren't going up. So what I'm kind of getting at here is like, so if you're locked into like a $20 an hour, 50 cent a mile type deal, or like I said, an owner operator leased on deal, to where you're getting so much per mile, $1.20 plus surcharge, $1.40 plus whatever. As those prices go up, like I said, it's most likely they're not your employer or whatever. They're not going to give you a raise. And like I said, if you're buying food or buying lumber for a project or building a house or whatever, and these prices double, so that $20 an hour or whatever you're making, it's essentially like you've taken a 50% pay cut. If the prices double and you're making the same money and you were making $20 an hour, now it's like you're making $10 an hour because everything you're buying costs double. So what I want to kind of get people, the point that I'm trying to make, or get people to kind of look at, is that when you're working as we do here at Landstar, or any other leased on, if you're an independent own authority type deal, I mean, if you're working off the spot market, as prices and everything goes up or inflates, then those freight rates are going to go up. So if you're working independently or with somebody like Landstar or Mercer or whoever, to where you're working on a percentage for what the spot rate is, as the prices and everything come up, you're going to kind of ride that wave as well. So you're going to kind of keep that same buying power. So I think you're kind of protected a little bit better than what you would be versus working as a company driver or whatever, locked into a certain rate. Like I said, I'm not an expert, not an economist or anything like that. I did go to college for 3 years for a bachelor's degree in small business entrepreneurship when I was in the Navy, and kind of got bored of that and didn't think I'd ever use it, so I didn't finish the last year. But I did take a lot of economics class, microeconomics and accounting and all that, finance, and so I know enough to be dangerous as far as when kind of hearing these numbers and what's going on. I know a lot what a lot of it means, and also, I mean, and like I said, you guys can do your own research on this, because that's not really what we're about here. But I'm just trying to get the message out there to look at this stuff and how you can best protect yourself and your family and all that if something does go kind of crazy. I mean, I was watching some sound bites from the Bank of America earnings call this for the last quarter here. And I guess the inflation, hyperinflation thing came up like 800% times more than it ever has before. And I guess with their determination, with all these earning reports coming in from other companies, like they're almost positive that there is going to be some, at least temporarily, moderate inflation or hyperinflation to some point. I mean, and the thing you got to think about is that through this whole pandemic thing, there's been what, $5 or $6 trillion that's just been thrown into the economy with actually no real value behind that. So when you throw that much money into something, with no real economic growth or value or anything behind it, it's, everybody's got money now. When you're giving people with the time you figure in the unemployment, I mean, if you had somebody that was making $13, $14 an hour, and now that with unemployment in some states they're getting close to $20 an hour, so they're getting more money than they were before. So then they're not working, so they're out buying stuff, out doing stuff. So it really screws everything up, and then you have the supply chain issues and all that. That's caused a lot of shortages. So then, on top of having the extra money, you have the shortages where companies are raising prices on things, so it's like a double hit. It just kind of creates an ugly situation, and that's why you got to try to find someplace, if things do get crazier than they are now, to protect yourself from that. And I know we kind of separated the farm stuff from this channel, but I just kind of wanted to mention one of the reasons that I've wanted to have property and be able to grow our own food and grow maybe more to have a business and sell to other people in the community, is that if things ever do get crazy, or there's some type, I'm not a prepper or anything like that, so I don't want to make it sound like that. But it's like I said, it's something I enjoy doing as a hobby, but trying to make it more of a business. But like I said, if there ever was some calamity or financial collapse or something, we'd be able to, if you go to Walmart, they don't have tomatoes on the shelves or chicken on their eggs or whatever. We could not only provide that for ourselves, but to the community as well. Or, and be able to exchange or trade that for something else, as the current, if the currency does hyperinflate. So it's easy to have to look about security for yourself and your family. So just want to throw that out there, just to get you guys thinking, and do your own research on everything. Look at the numbers, and but I think it's something a topic that we all need to be looking out for, as far as for your personal and family security and all that. It's good to be in a safe place as far as all that goes. So I'm going to leave it at that. And like I said, just do your own research and everything, look at your own numbers, and make a decision from there. Like I said, on this channel, guys, we're always doing the Landstar stuff, interrupter stuff, truck maintenance and all that. Starting the new on-site maintenance service business, getting it up and running, bought a service truck and a lot of other stuff. So a lot more to come on that. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed to this one, please do that. Hit the bell for the updates, and like the video as always. Like I said, if you're interested in the farm stuff, we moved it over to the other channel. We'll always put a link there in the description for that. So if you're interested in growing stuff, animals, tractors, working on stuff and all that good stuff, farm projects, check that out as well. So leave it at that. Appreciate all the support, comments, questions, and all that. And we'll see y'all next time.